Hello Libra, thank you so much for checking out my channel here at Reflexive Tarot. I'm Sarah and I will be hosting a general reading, channeling energy that is centered in the new moon phase for this reading. A new moon that is happening, it's moving through Sagittarius and Capricorn. So channeling energy that is Sagittarian in nature, which can look like, you know, staying happy and full of life and humor, focusing energy on service to others, but also remaining detached with healthy boundaries and detachment, like, because Sagittarians really just love their freedom. So with the Capricorn energy, it can look like finding pleasure in what it is that you do at work. So letting go and of the things that serve us, that no longer serve us within the workplace, in order to really feel happy about what it is that we're doing. And also just finding love for hard work, because Capricorns really do have an amazing work ethic. So if that's something that you feel like has been challenging you, then this is a great time to really just focus in on setting some good intentions for that. This new moon is also happening during the winter solstice. So it's the darkest time of the year. The sun is getting kind of cut off from the moon's light, or the moon is getting cut off from the sun's light, I should say. And it's kind of like the ultimate reset. So, thinking like, metaphorically speaking, restarting your laptop and, for all the new updates, maybe even just like refreshing the whole thing, like doing a whole system reset. So it's a good time for that. Maybe you need to like service your laptop even. Maybe that's what we're channeling here. But either way, let's get into this reading for you, Libras. Lots of judgment energy is coming through. So awakening to the fact that, the world has gone through some shit. We've been through some shit. Where do you stand? Where do we stand? What's the word for Libra? Oh, we have, this was actually just, Virgo just got this card as well. So you've been through a lot, you've worked on a lot and kind of tired, been through a few battles, almost just like a well-seasoned war veteran, really done with being on the front line. So taking a step back to hold down the fort and keep the fort lit. It's heavy though. It's hard. It's tiring when you feel like you're done, and then you still got this one role, right? But it's also, just knowing that that's the spot that you've earned as well. That's like the seniority that you have is important to acknowledge. The High Priestess. So again, speaking of like seniority, knowledge, understanding, the High Priestess doesn't necessarily have to be like, it's an ageless role, I think. There's so many, like when you think about like cycles within the sacred feminine, also applies to like the Empress. But you can be a High Priestess and be an elder in that realm. It's not about like, it's not about youth. It's about like divine, feminine, sacred knowledge that is ageless, but that also keeps us young and honors the spirit of what it is to be an elder. So there's so many different ways to support life and the meaning of life. And we have the Seven of Cups overlooking that situation. So, I mean, you have opportunities. There's something that you're being indecisive about, though, with the next chapter of what's available for you. And that's okay. It's just something that you need to acknowledge because um, it looks like you're kind of running away from that. Uh, and there's something to be said about cutting your losses and moving on, but when you're not doing that, when you're not moving on from something into a new phase of life, into a new cycle of life, it's just going to hold you back because if you can't make a decision about that, about where things are going for you, what you can put your energy into, you might end up missing out on one of these opportunities that were presented to you, or you're just kind of robbing yourself of connecting fully with, because everything is available for you. That's what's great about the Seven of Cups. It's all there for you. It's just you deciding what to prioritize. And if you're prioritizing like pussyfooting your way through things, around things, or like trying to hustle when you don't really have to, and it's really just about focusing, then it's not going to turn out the way that it's not going to turn out with the most optimal outcome. I'll just say that. Emotional imbalance is something that you've been faced with in the recent past, and that's normal. Emotional imbalance is and we all have to balance out our emotions. So basically what this is just saying is that that's what you've been dealing with in the recent past. It's as simple as that. How it's impacting your future is what we're going to look at next. So we have the 10. We're in the 9, holding down the fort, and we are avoiding the 10. We're stuck holding down the fort. So how are you going to get yourself the hell out of the house? Out of the office? In the field? Or opening up the office, like when you think about all the shutdowns, like how are we going to fully transition back into full usage of spaces? There's just things that you're not letting go of, or just things that also so when this is upright, it's about having a huge burden to bear that needs to be sort of released and repurposed on some level in order to renew the energy in the realm of creativity, creative ideas, and goal setting and actualizing goals. When it's reversed, it's almost like you don't have a huge load to carry. You need to start adding to your load so that you can be active, stay active. So creatively speaking, what are you putting your energy into? Maybe you need to join an art class, or find something to get you inspired and connecting to other people, because we're sort of at a phase where lots of people have been kind of in goblin mode, needing to put themselves out there, having to deal with the grief of losing relatives, deal with the grief of a pandemic of impacting friendships. And it's like being around people and getting that oxytocin release hasn't been happening the way that it's always been happening up until this point. So how are you gonna do that? How are you gonna find a new way to get your oxytocin in, to get your dose of people, right? And it's not a bad idea to keep your circle moving and have new people in your life. That energy that we exchange with others, it gives us new ideas. It inspires us, right? Influencers are not just on Instagram. Page of Wands. So, your attitude is good. Like, you want to put yourself out there. You want to learn how to set new goals, even. Like, you're ready to take on the task of maturing this this energy that's been sort of neglected, or is just like you're just realizing needs to be nurtured and needs to grow. That's pretty cool. That's a good attitude. And it's also like, what I love about the pages is that, like, even if you're older with like something that you need to, kind of grow up about or learn about or mature up about, like, there's a refreshing youthfulness about it, right? As long as it's not too needy, it can really inspire others as well. And we have the seven of cups. No, six. So you really miss the old school love vibe. You're missing your people. You're missing the way things used to be. You're missing, old friendships that you may have had to let go of. And other people see you as kind of like needing that. Like, you don't have, people might see that you're very isolated. And is that something that you like? Do you want to look like the person that's too much of a loner? That can be tricky. Like, I can relate to that on so many levels. Like, sometimes, it's like on one hand, not giving a fuck because you're not interested in putting up with people's shit anymore. So you're doing what you need to do to get through it, right? Then on the other hand, like, okay, so you need to figure out how to start connecting with yourself, because with connecting yourself to more, getting connected to groups, because um, it may make you vulnerable being seen as weak on that level. And then there's also like the space outside of that sort of dichotomy of either or, like either you're isolated or you're not. Like, some folks, require access. Some folks are actually like really struggle in social settings, and it's too much, So it's a balance between those three things, I would say. What your needs are, what you're capable of, and like the goals that you can set for yourself in relation to that. What you miss as well, what you once had, and what you want to kind of create again for yourself. The Hierophant reverse. So fear of being misled, fear of something coming to an end, like a contract or agreements being broken. So if that's at the core of, finding some like confidence and security, learning how to be more confident, do not allow your confidence to be centered in validation from others or having like a partner, for example. Like, you're not valid because you have a partner. It's like that whole toxic feminine trait of needing to be in a relationship in order to be like a successful woman. Poo poo on that. And we have the devil. So attachments, again, like that. I feel like I just called it. I called it, Libra. What is chaining you? What are you chained to? What ideas or ideologies are chaining you up, are keeping you stuck, are, are robbing your soul of happiness, of contentment, of security? So I would say, the high priestess being in your subconscious, maybe and with this reversed hierophant, like maybe like old-fashioned values are not working for you anymore. And finding kicks in deviant behavior also not working for you. There's got to be some type of happy medium where it's not completely deviating away from old-fashioned values, where you're like finding a happy medium so that you can be confident in who you are, what you stand for, what floats your boat, all that shit. So with that, Libra, thank you so much for checking out my channel. I appreciate all the support. So like and subscribe. It really helps the growth of my channel. Oh, excuse me. And we will catch you next time. Take care and bye for now.